During the first lunch period, I heard 4 loud booms. I personally thought it was thunder, but the entire lunch crowd started screaming. I was thinking those kids were just serious, but
no! Today we're doing school lockdown horror stories. Let's go!
The Silent Intruder. In 2015, a small high school in Ohio experienced a sudden lockdown. Nearby, a convenience store had just been robbed, and the suspect was on the run. The school immediately locked all doors, and the students were told to stay hidden and quiet. For an hour, students sat in silence, the tension building as they waited for the lockdown to end. One teacher, Mrs. Johnson, sat at her desk listening carefully. She heard footsteps in the hallway. At first, she thought it was a police officer securing the area, but then the footsteps stopped right outside her classroom door. The faint sound of tapping followed, and then nothing. Mrs. Johnson's heart raced. The minutes ticked by, but there were no more sounds. When the lockdown finally lifted, Mrs. Johnson mentioned the strange noise to the officers, but what they told her sent a chill down her spine. Ma'am, they said, we haven't entered the school yet. Whoever or whatever had been outside her classroom wasn't there to help.
Bro, that's so scary because like that brings up a situation that happened at Lamar. Like there was a shooting in the South End and they put the dorms on lockdown.
Oh yeah, and then the college campus, anybody can just
The crazy part about Lamar was in the hood. You could just walk.
Oh yeah, like most campuses, like you don't expect them to be just like you turn the corner. Oh, it's college.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, you can just walk on the campus, do whatever you want to do. The good part about this is that 9 times out of 10, he was just trying to get away. Yeah. He didn't really care about, it was just like school. Yeah. I can probably hide. It's stupid. It's still
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. One of my biggest fears is a mass shooting.
Yeah.
That is literally like to this day.
Yeah.
That's why I keep that thing on me.
Keep that thing tucked, bro.
Regular Tuesday afternoon when the school bells rang, signaling the start of 6th period. Everyone was tired, looking forward to the weekend, but still trying to stay focused. The classroom was quiet, save for the tapping of keyboards and the occasional cough. It felt like any other day. Suddenly, the principal's voice crackled over the loudspeaker, breaking the monotony. His voice was unusually tense as he ordered all students and staff to lock down immediately.
Boy, I'm so glad I've never had an actual lockdown.
We had one. Hey, bro, we had one. We had 2.
When?
Yeah, it was
I must have just thought they was all drills.
It was 2012, 2011.
2012, I wasn't there.
It was one in 2011
so,
too.
2011, I must just not remember.
You probably thought it was a drill. 2011, it was a looting threat, and 2012, it was a boom threat.
Yeah, I wasn't there for the 2012.
Our 13 was a boom threat. Yeah. The craziest part about one of them. No, it was the boom threat. On the boom threat, they made us go out in the front. I thought it was the mass looting threat, but it was the boom.
Okay, yeah.
But even then, why would you put us up front? Cause say that crazy,
yeah, somebody crazy,
throw it in the ground.
I mean, it really didn't matter. The whole outside was like an open area, so it really.
We was on the big field in front.
Yeah.
Clear something was wrong.
Big field in front, big field in the back.
Our teacher quickly turned off the lights and ushered us to the back of the room, her face a mixture of fear and confusion. We huddled together, trying to stay calm. Minutes passed, but it felt like hours. The air was thick with unease. Through the thin windows, I could see movement. A dark figure crossed the courtyard, his silhouette distorted in the fading sunlight. The sound of heavy footsteps echoed from the hallway, getting louder and louder. Then we heard it, a loud bang. The unmistakable sound of something being slammed against a wall. A few students whispered nervously, and some even started crying. That's when we heard the shouting. A man's voice, wild and erratic, yelling at the top of his lungs. "Let me in," he screamed. "I'll make you all regret it."
Oh, hell,
bro. Bro. And the thing is, bro, people really be crazy.
Crazy
like psychopaths exist.
And they just walk out the house. Like everybody, some of them they not in the ward. They not locked up. Bro, they not with they pay people. They just
like that kid with the firefighters.
Oh, that's right now.
Yeah, he's a kid. Man.
Oh, it's
like when I looked, I think he's 16, 17.
Oh, that's
like
crazy.
He's and granted, I could be wrong, but he set a fire for him to go out.
Either way, whatever person is doing that, it gotta be a little crazy,
bro.
Literally,
set it just for a trap,
for them. Just for them to go out there. That's
His
crazy.
voice was manic, sending chills down our spines. The sound of him banging on the door rattled the whole room. "Stay quiet," our teacher whispered urgently, her voice barely audible over the chaos. The pounding on the door grew more frantic, more desperate. My heart raced, each thud against the door, making me feel like the walls were closing in on us. Then, silence. It lasted only for a few seconds, but it felt like an eternity.
And I also, like, granted, I'm on the fence about it, but, like, I get why they say teachers should be allowed to carry a weapon.
Yeah.
The only other side
is a crazy teacher. Yeah. Or a student getting into something they shouldn't be.
Yeah, or imagine a student punch a teacher. Now that teacher
is,
he shot Tyrone!
Like, there should be a licensed person
on
campus.
At all times.
And like high school, we got cops.
Yeah.
Well, most schools
middle schools we had cops too.
Yeah. Most schools
I wonder if that's a Texas thing.
Yeah, but like I'm talking like normally it's just like the high schools is like a couple. Yeah. The middle school is like one or two. The elementary school is one. So it's like there should always be at least a couple like around.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You had one at your school?
What?
A cop?
Yeah.
I didn't.
No, my elementary school, I didn't.
I didn't either.
Not at that time, I didn't. Yeah. Middle school, yeah. High school, yeah. Elementary, at that time.
I didn't have one at elementary. We did start having like
pre-K's just open. They just
nigga pre-K, bro. Boy. That's the scariest shit, bro. Because it's a building with no protection, and then you just need one crackhead, one crazy.
Oh, I need some lunch. Oh.
I held my breath, praying the man would leave. The quiet stretched out, and just when I thought it was over, we heard him again. His voice, still wild but distant now. He was moving down the hallway, shouting incoherently. The sound faded, and soon we were left in a terrifying stillness. Eventually, the principal came back on the intercom. His voice was shaking as he explained that a dangerous individual had entered the building. The man had attacked a teacher in the front office, but thankfully, the staff had managed to get him away before things escalated further. The authorities were on their way,
but
it didn't end there. Rumors spread quickly among the students. Some said the man had been hiding somewhere in the building. Others claimed he had been carrying a weapon. The unsettling thought that he could still be inside made my skin crawl. When the lockdown finally ended, we were escorted from the classroom in small groups, our eyes constantly scanning the shadows, half expecting the man to jump out from around the corner. Later, we learned that the police had found the man in a janitor's closet. He was armed, and the weapon was later identified as a handgun. Thankfully, the police acted fast.
Why is this AI of a cop arresting
Bro,
a cop?
the thing is, all these pictures have been AI.
And the man was taken into custody. But for me and the others in that room, the fear lingered long after the ordeal was over. I still remember the sound of those banging fists on the door, the way our teacher's voice trembled as she whispered for us to stay calm. It's a...
Cause that's
Bro, that's terrifying.
They not prepared for that. Like, the teachers probably get one training, if that, on that. And like nobody in that school, barring the security or maybe the principal, is prepared for that. And he was armed and in the closet.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Because of the mass ootings, bro, I always map exits. I map exits.
Need to know
everywhere.
I just do it naturally, just because, like, especially like parking lots. I map parking lots just because, like, traffic. But like mapping, just do it naturally.
Anytime I ever walk into a building, every part of the city I know how to get out. like we walk in a building within 30 seconds, I figured out how to get out of it.
Yeah, I need to know.
Sound that haunts me to this day.
Front door. I need to know all of it.
My school has 2 lunch periods. First lunch period is for all 6th graders and some 7th graders.
Okay.
The second lunch period is for the other half of the 7th graders and all 8th graders. The lockdown happened in the beginning of October. The day the lockdown occurred, it was overcast and rainy.
The scariest part about this, you want to know the scariest part? Because they're not mass shootings, we don't hear about it. But on average, I forget the number, but it's a scary number of how many random people walk on like school campuses and cause problems. And I'm not talking
lockdowns and just random occurrences that you wouldn't hear about because it's not a big thing, and they not reporting it to like the news. The cops really didn't have to come. Like it's just a bunch of random stuff like this. Bro. Yeah.
During the first lunch period, I heard 4 loud booms. I personally thought it was thunder, but the entire lunch crowd started screaming. I was thinking those kids were just serious. But
no, dude, dude. Ah! And then you like holding a tray like, oh my god, dude. Where do I go? Where are the bullets coming from?
Campus security came in and started yelling at people to go into the multi-purpose room. And the kids who were in line buying lunch had to throw out their lunch and come inside.
Oh, they can't eat.
Me and some friends went inside the room along with a huge group of other kids. Everyone was curious as to what was happening. Our multi-purpose room is huge and the back wall of the room is made of see-through glass. When me and my friends were rushed inside the campus, security was covering the glass with the curtains and there were adults at every exit. My friend Eric was curious as well as the rest.
That gotta be like scary as hell because like two sides, right? Because there's teachers that only care about themselves, and then there's teachers like, bro, I gotta protect these kids, and those teachers that's like, I gotta protect these kids.
But they like, also scared for them.
You
can be one to protect the kids, but you also like, oh goddamn, I'm first line. Like security is like a couple people. It's security, and it is us. I hope they can deal with whoever this is, bro.
Like the scariest part, like I think about like your average like AR-15 or AK-47 mag, right? That's about 24 rounds. That's a whole classroom. That's terrifying. And then the craziest part, like say you in something like that, bro. That's going through people. That's scary.
Rest of us. So he asked one of the adults what was going on. When he came back, he said, "You know how right in front of TMS there's those houses?" I replied, "Yeah." "There's this mentally disabled crazy man that barricaded himself in front of his house and he's threatening to commit suicide and kill the cops if he's evicted. He was walking around outside of school watching kids in a weird way," Eric told us. It turned out the man was also a registered making matters worse.
How is he? Can they live by school?
That's what I'm saying. How is he living near the school?
Ain't it like, hold on.
I don't think he's supposed to be living, if this is close to the school that he's saying, how is he living near the school?
I really don't want to search this.
No, don't search that, bro. I don't think they're supposed to be.
I don't want to
I wouldn't think they're supposed to be.
We were stuck in the multi-purpose room for a whole hour, taking up 2 periods. After the whole thing...
The scariest part about Brooke now, boy, Brooke, man.
What about it?
They dead to rights, bro.
Why?
First of all, they in the cafeteria. Somebody go in that cafeteria, they mowing down that hole.
I mean, cafeterias are open, so
bro,
it's nuts. That's a lot of schools.
Thing was settled. We were escorted to our classrooms one by one. I later found out that the man lives next to my friend Brandy, who told me about the previous Halloween when she saw the same man at his window cut his arm and writing in his own blood, "Don't come here or I'll kill you," on his window. Of course, being Halloween, people, including Brandy, assumed it was just for the holiday. But after this horrific incident, we knew this man was mental, and we're glad he never got near us.
Where did he bust at?
I hope he probably shot in the front yard. Since the cops were trying to get in there.
Yeah. I hope he's still kind of locked down for him.
Yeah, bro.
Because he don't need to be out.
And the thing is, bro, like, look, I love having firearms. I'll tell you that now, okay?
As a stable human being. With no ulterior motives.
Right. My only ulterior motive is a white-tailed deer. Okay?
And a hog.
And a hog. But, like, the craziest part, bro, like, I wholeheartedly believe, and, like, a lot of gun people don't agree with this, a psych eval should be mandatory.
Oh, yeah. It shouldn't be as simple as it is.
Bro, I go and give you my ID and I walk out with a weapon of mass destruction?
Yeah, it should be like, I gotta do all that to get one. I get it later, and most people procrastinate.
And that's why. And that's the thing with silencers.
Yeah,
that's why people don't buy silencers. Oh, I gotta put my fingerprints. Oh, I gotta wait.
It's just another. It's not hard. It's just another barrier to get to it, so it make less. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's they should have that for all of them.
Rural high school in Kentucky went into lockdown after reports of a suspicious person near an old abandoned building next to the school. The building had been closed for decades, its windows shattered, doors chained shut. But rumors swirled among the students that the building was haunted. Some said it was the ghost of a janitor who had vanished under mysterious circumstances in the 1980s.
Well, we be believing anything in school, boy. All the rumors.
I remember there was one of the rumors was there was a pool at Central.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, they got a pool.
One of the Dishman had a moving wall. That was the rumor. It was just one of them the freaking where you manually roll the gym wall, bro. It wasn't nothing. But as elementary, we like, they over there on the rich side of town with a moving wall. It wasn't nothing crazy.
During the lockdown, students in classrooms facing the building reported seeing something in one of the top floor windows. A man. He stood there staring into the school. One student described him as wearing an old tattered uniform, the kind janitors wore decades ago. As the minutes dragged on, more students claimed they saw the figure. But when the lockdown ended and police searched the building, they found no signs of entry. Every door was still chained, every window covered in dust. But the students insist they saw him watching. Was it the janitor's ghost, or was something else lurking in the shadows of that abandoned building?
That's a movie prank, bro.
The thing I hate the most, bro, is like in schools where like, because I know they started doing it. They did it like because there was a mass shooting and they started doing it. They started locking the front doors of the school. And, like, the thing that always went off in my mind, right? Because at that time, we all, like, with the mass shootings, were like, oh, it's other students. The one thing that went off in my mind, y'all locking us in here with them.
Yeah.
That was always my big, like, I'm stuck in here.
But it's reality, you're trying to keep people out.
Yeah, you're trying to keep people out.
It was a typical boring day in calculus, only it was Friday, 7th period, meaning the week was almost over and spring break.
At the end of the day.
That's sickening. That's sickening.
At the end of the day.
Bro, you gotta take, bro, Cal, 3rd period.
Early in the day, get that out the way.
Maybe 4th. 3rd period is prime. 1st, 2nd, you still getting accustomed to the day. 3rd period, that's prime time. Your brain's working. You could do 4th period unless you got 4th period lunch. You don't want to do it on 4th period. Anything after 3rd, 4th period, really, you don't want that.
Yeah, especially not the last couple.
It would finally be upon us, so everybody was getting antsy in their seats, I could tell. We didn't have a test that day like a lot of my friends did with their other teachers, so our teacher in the middle of class just decided to
I used to love sleeping in them desks, boy.
You'd be knocked the hell out,
start playing games with us on Sporkle.com.
Okay.
He was a very laid-back teacher like that.
You good.
As we were doing some brand logo quiz on Sporkle, I remember the exact moment it happened. Right after my friend answered a question, I remember the exact answer to Adidas. The dean's voice came through the loudspeaker. He sounded panicked and frantic as he told all the teachers this was not a drill and to go into lockdown. I actually got...
And I also hate the doors that open out. Like classroom doors that open out, not into the classroom. I hate those.
Why?
Because if they open into the classroom, you could barricade those.
Oh, you can't. Yeah, you're right. Oh, you.
Because it don't take nothing for somebody to blast through the door handle.
Yeah, you can't even. It's just gonna swing out.
Yeah.
It don't matter what you got right there. I didn't even think about that.
The chills, and I got goosebumps.
I had a real fear of this for a while.
I can tell.
I was, cause like, bro, it was the Eminem had just came back and dropped the song, and I was like, oh, Eminem back, or it was Lil Wayne something, and then the music video, he was in a movie theater with a certain amount of skeletons, and then that week there was a ooting at a movie theater with that amount of people who died, and I was like,
you're a panicker. You're paranoid. You're paranoid. Yeah. You're a panicker. Bro.
Yeah, bro.
When them two countries over there start doing what they was doing, he was walking around this. We're done.
Let me explain.
I'm like, bro, sit down. We gotta record.
It was really bothering me because usually I don't be tripping about, you know what I'm saying, the boom booms. But this time, for whatever reason, I was like, wait. And I'll tell you why. Because I always got this thing in my head, bro. Every time something's going awesome, something bad gonna happen. YouTube is going awesome. Yeah. And I was like, bro, right now, y'all gonna end us now, bro.
Bumps on my arms as our usually laid-back teacher too seemed panicked as he ran to turn off the lights and ushered us to the back corner of the room.
You drank you some gamer subs at GG?
Oh yeah, bro. I got the caffeine free right now. I got the I don't even remember what flavor this is, but I know I got the can right here. I drank earlier.
Oh yeah, me too.
You get you a can at gamersubs.gg/InternetCity, 10% off your order. You can also get a flavor like Incel Tears
or my favorite, like guacamole gamer farts.
Hey, there's plenty of stuff to choose from. Help you boys get our own flavor. We ain't nowhere near it, but we need your support to get there.
Look,
so
bro,
God dog it.
Bro, this video probably gonna like 50, 40,000 views. If 20,000 of y'all buy something, we can get our own.
Buy something. If they got the free sample, get the free sample, bro. Come on, man.
Help us out, bro.
Please. I'm begging. If you get it, I'll kiss Aaron right now. Lips him. I'm sorry. Never mind. I lied. Don't do it. Well, do it, but don't do it because I said that. But like, yeah.
We all sat in silence for about 2 minutes. And then the usual buzzing that came from a panel in the back of the room ceased, indicating that the school must have cut all the power. We all looked at each other, realizing this must be serious. A few more minutes of waiting later, we heard a man screaming at the top of his lungs coming down the hallway. 2 girls in the class actually started crying, which made all of us even more scared.
See. Inherently, it's just human emotion. But when we in the heat of the moment, bitch, shut up! Because if he hear you,
I ain't gonna lie. Me, if I'm in that moment and it's any other shorty, but my strawberry shortcake, I'm punching you in the face.
I'm gonna have to hit him. It's gonna be one of these.
No, it's gonna be one of these.
No, because if they right here, it's gonna be. Shut up.
Nah, I'm lipping. I'm turning on. Cause they gonna be shocked. I'm like, shut up.
That's like, you know what this remind me of situations? I'll make it quick. I watched the movie Plane. They crash landed on an island. This motherfucker, through a thunderstorm, landed the plane. They landed safely. And all of the 14 passengers, what's going on? What's happening? I don't know. I just landed us on this dang, I don't know what's going on. Why are you acting like I know? I don't know. We got struck by lightning. I don't know. Calm down. We gonna figure it out together. Like that's like
our planes are able to fly, right? Cause I don't think we ever.
You know, yeah, I don't know. But like I don't know why they were. It's one of those. What's wrong with you, bro? What's wrong with this? Something's wrong with this. Too much caffeine. Bro, oh, something's wrong with this man, dog. Jeez.
As the screaming got closer to the classroom, the lunatic-sounding man started banging.
Hey, bro, somebody make that edit, bro.
Banging on the lockers while screaming, all of you. It was at that moment that I started to fear for my life. My teacher shushed us as we all looked at each other to see our peers' reactions. The banging then moved from the lockers to our classroom door. And that's when one of the crying girls screamed no.
See? Ben! supposed to know you're here and you're screaming, no, this is a pet peeve. If we're hiding from somebody, you're screaming like a toddler, like when Mason play hide and seek, he be in there, he peek his head out. He found. Mason, if you shut up, I wouldn't find you. But he's a toddler, it's a game. If we're in this situation, don't say nothing.
I ain't gonna lie, this is why I learned knife combat.
I mean, yeah.
Because if something go on, bro.
Well, now you gotta use the combat. Because this bitch, he's just a lunatic that's banging on the door that he don't know if somebody in there. Shut up!
Let me explain something, bro. I learned knife combat a few months ago. Boy, if something ever go on and I can't get to that blick and I got these, I'm going to fuck you.
You don't want to see him in the button. What? Huh? Okay, we just gonna know.
Every muscle in your legs gonna cave out.
You lucky. I'm not gonna zoom in on that.
Banging on the door only grew worse as the man started screaming, "Open up!"
Now he know you in there
Two
for
of the girls in
sure.
class were crying out loud now.
Guessing.
It felt like an eternity that man was pounding at the door. But eventually, he finally continued down the hallways, screaming like a mentally insane person, until we could not hear him anymore. I'd say 10 minutes later, though it felt like half an hour given the situation, the dean came back on the loudspeaker explaining the situation, which was surprising for him to do. He explained that some apparently mentally unstable person entered the building and assaulted the woman sitting at the front desk, causing her to flee the building screaming, and Steph wasn't sure if the man was armed or not.
Oh, she got up out of there.
I remember one of the special kids got into a fight with a regular kid. And they was tussling. I remember hearing it in the classroom.
That regular kid going to hell.
Well, he was actually protecting himself.
He was just getting attacked. Okay.
Because Buddy just tripped out.
He just had an episode, basically.
Bro, they kicked him out of school.
Oh, okay.
Cause like he tripped out, started all you heard. I'm just playing it. Bro, what the? Hey man, get him, bro. You not.
Now this was before the school had cameras or could afford proper security, so the school was wide open to something like this happening. The staff had done the sweep of all the hallways and classrooms and couldn't find him, so the dean instructed the teachers to resume teaching but to keep all the doors locked, and to not let any students leave for any reasons. The most disturbing part, however, is that one of the janitors working the night shift found the man sleeping in one of the storage closets near the back end of the school.
Check the closets, bro.
I'll never forget, they had a dude come talk to us at school, right? Mm-hmm. Dude was talking to us about like what we could do in life, mm-hmm. Talking about all the stuff he did. And I remember listening to this, and I'm like, he did all this? Like, it just I fought in the army, I fought in Afghanistan.
He's definitely a recruiter.
No, I done lived everywhere in the world. I lived in China, Philippines, I had businesses, and he's saying all this. I'm like, that's a lot to do, right?
Uh-huh.
And I remember looking at this dude. I didn't like him. I never liked him. And he looking like this. And the dude would leave. And I remember our teacher was like, all right, y'all can go to lunch or whatever. And they were like, I remember the teacher was talking to the principal like, who is he? Why'd you have us come here? He was like, wait, he said that you authorized him to be here. And the teacher was like, he said that you authorized him to be here to talk to the students.
They just let
they were like, wait, then who is he? And he was like, we don't know. And then the dude I didn't like was like, he's a liar. I was like, what? He was like, all he does is lie. He lives in my neighborhood. Nobody knows what he does for money. He's a liar. He's never been in the military.
First of all, the teacher saying I thought the principal authorized him. That's understandable. But the principal, what are you doing,
bro? And I remember, I'm like, nigga could have killed us.
He could have did anything.
Because we was in a little theater.
Yeah, he could have did anything, bro.
And according to rumors that were spread by my peers, sticking out of his pocket was a .44 Magnum.
It's always an extra on
The janitor
bro.
must have done something stupid to wake him up, for example leaving the closet door open, because by the time a police officer could arrive on the scene, the man was gone. My entire class, as far as I know to this day, has no idea if this man was ever found, but I like to think that right now, he's being given the proper help that he needs.
He's not.
It's hard to explain what happened.
He getting fucked by a crackhead.
Okay, for sure. He is the crackhead doing the effing in the alley. Why you keep stopping every time I make it bigger? Yeah, okay.
I don't know if anyone can truly understand it, but I'll try.
Okay.
If you ever find yourself in a place that feels wrong, you'll know what I mean.
We do have music.
If you ever find yourself in a place that feels wrong, you'll know what I mean. This is the story of the Whispering Shadows. The day the lockdown at St. Mary's School, Australia turned
Oh, it's
darker.
Australia. Down under, mate.
Year 10, just a Wednesday afternoon, crisp air. Year 10,
Year
just
10.
a Wednesday afternoon,
Year 10.
crisp air, sun shining,
Crisp
nothing
air,
unusual,
okay.
or so we thought. The intercom crackled. We all stopped. I was in science class when the voice over the loudspeaker told us,
It's always that loudspeaker, bro.
"Attention students, this is not a drill. Stay in your classrooms. Lock doors, close blinds, and stay silent. This is not a test." Something wasn't right. The voice wasn't calm, it was urgent.
No, yeah, this is serious.
The blinds were down, and we crouched under our desks, silent. It was too quiet.
What is that?
Something felt off. The silence was unsettling. Usually you'd hear students. Now, nothing. Then the whispering started. It was faint at first, like
Oh, Scoop! They're whispering it all. Scoop! Oh, Scoop! They're coming in my ear, Scoop! He's wanting in my ear, Scoop!
Reggie, he's coming here, Reggie. Reggie, he's fucking you, Reggie. Reggie, you're not getting it.
a trick of the mind. But it grew louder. From the hallway, maybe. Low, guttural murmurs. Whispering voices. Shh! Don't make a sound. It's here. It's too late. I tried to ignore it. It was just the wind, or my imagination. But then it started again, louder. Multiple voices overlapping. All in that strange, twisted tone. "Leave now. You're not safe."
Man, hell no.
I looked around, but no one else noticed. They were
You the
too
only one
focused on
hearing
their
it?
phones or their own fear. But I couldn't stop listening. I felt something crawling into my mind.
That's the Lord telling
And
you
then-
to get up out of there, twin.
I saw it. A shadow. A tall, thin figure moved past the window. A fleeting shape. It didn't belong. The whispers grew louder.
Being haunted in the
"Don't
middle of
look,
school
don't
is
move."
crazy.
My heart raced. My fingers were icy. The shadow outside moved
You know what that B-roll reminded me of?
What?
People that be messing with kids. And the kids be really scared for real. And they just, I'm gonna get you.
My heart raced. My fingers were icy. The shadow outside moved slowly. It knew we...
Nigga, they use Opus to edit this. I'm sorry, like this story,
It's getting somewhere. It's getting there.
somewhere. I think it's just it's talking to me.
It's talking to me. They talk to me. Damn.
The other ones are scary as hell. Like,
We were inside. The whispers and footsteps got closer. My eyes darted to the corner. Mr. Harris stared at the door, unmoving. He looked terrified. The handle rattled.
hallways are
A
so
soft
bad.
sound, a small shake,
Bro, I
testing
hate-
the door.
Oh no.
I hate school hallways with no windows.
Yeah,
hate
that's
it.
a lot of them too.
Yes,
That's a lot of them. Yeah, but this is he took it.
The handle rattled. A soft
no.
sound, a small shake, testing the door. My breath caught.
Oh.
The handle twisted. My body tensed. Silence. But then we heard something. Crying. It wasn't a normal cry. It was deep, distorted, like something trapped in the walls. The crying echoed, creeping into our minds. I didn't dare move. We all just sat there listening. Mr. Harris peered through the small window. His face went ashen. I saw it in his eyes, the terror. He rushed to the back of the classroom. Then the lights went out.
Damn.
I ain't gonna lie.
Mr. Harris.
If y'all ever in school and you gotta protect yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Grab a chair.
The whole desk.
If the desk connected.
I'm cracking somebody wide open.
It need to be like y'all throwing tomatoes at somebody that suck on stage. Everybody grab a.
It don't matter how many bullets in that clip. One of them
desk gonna crack it. And then if he go down,
like I don't know if y'all ever seen that meme. It's not funny. I promise it's not. So I'm not like laughing at it. Okay, but it's like two dudes sitting at a bar, and one dude get hit by a chair, and he like grabbed the other guy's shirt, and he started licking, and he's doing like that.
Okay.
The room plunged into darkness. Time seemed to stop. No one moved. Shadows whispered. The air was heavy. Something was watching us. The walls felt like they were closing in.
Mr. Harris done peeked through the dang window instead of sitting his butt against the wall with everybody else.
Intercom crackled again. The voice was different now, not calm. It was shaky, almost pleading. Lockdown is over. Exit immediately.
Huh?
We waited for what felt like an eternity.
No.
The door was unlocked. We left the classroom. The hallway was empty. The crying had stopped. The whispers were gone. But the air, it still felt wrong.
Yeah, no, this don't feel right, twin.
Outside, students stood in the yard, silent and staring at the ground. We all knew. Something was in the school. Something was watching us. We noticed something strange. At the far end of the hallway, a tattered teddy bear on the floor. It hadn't been there before. None of us dared go near it.
That's it?
Yeah, that ended that.
Oh, man.
The Roe Park Elementary School in Parma was on lockdown earlier today because of a heavy police presence near West 54th Street. Police told us they were looking for a suspect who was considered armed and dangerous. Now, police was able to locate the suspect and take him into custody, but many parents I spoke to told me they were afraid when they received that text message at 3:30 that they would not be able to pick up their kid from school because of an armed suspect in the neighborhood.
Bro, that's fear for everybody.
Bro, you tell me, look, let me tell you something. Boy, anything happened to my munchkin?
Yeah, no, I don't, boy.
Bro, I'm telling, anything happened to any one of my people, even Michael, the criminal who did it is not safe.
You can take my backside, but you ain't safe, nigga.